18 years since he left, Ineos is contemplating bringing back one of the most loved players to ever step foot at Old Trafford. That is Ruud Van Nistelrooy. Well, not as a player, come on, guys, the guy is old, but as part of the backroom staff for the boss Erik Ten Hag. Meanwhile, there is competition for him. He's got to make a decision whether he wants to work with Erik Ten Hag or does he want to be his own man and be a manager at Burnley. Like, share, and subscribe. This is the United Road Sport. This is a big one that is just coming through. I honestly feel so happy. This has got me elated. This has got me fired up because if you know me, you know I loved Ruud Van Nistelrooy. In fact, I feel like he may not have been a better footballer, a more complete striker than Wayne Rooney, but I'll tell you, Van Nistelrooy brought more joy to Man United supporters, I think, than any other striker we had in recent years because of how he used to punish these Arsenal boys, how he used to play. He was a proper goal poacher. He would just come out from nowhere and bang in a goal. His style and class. We just loved Ruud Van Nistelrooy, this Dutch maestro. He's one of those people. I think who made me fall more and more in love with the Netherlands national team. Of course, after Bergkamp and what have you. I don't want to go into the history of Ruud Van Nistelrooy. Let me get proper into the real talk. Like, share, and subscribe as we do talk. One of our biggest players now, Van Nistelrooy, has been a coach since he called it quits with football. Remember, at Man United, he scored 95 goals in more than 150 games, and he was definitely one of the most important players for Sir Alex Ferguson. I think we all know that. But of course, we know that not every time former great players turn out to be great managers. But Van Nistelrooy, ever since he stopped playing, went on to manage at PSV. He was an assistant at the national team, at the Dutch national team, several times, part of the backroom staff. He is highly rated. He just resigned from PSG. I think he said he did not have enough backing, but he's got quite a character, and we all know what he can do as a manager. I think, by the way, if you look at all former Manchester United players, I think I spoke about him sometime before in one of my early videos when links had started about potential managers to come in, and I mentioned him, of course, lightly. But of course, most people want managers who have won stuff, who have won titles and what have you. But trust you me, they will not be there forever. You've got to build new managers. And I'll tell you, Ruud Van Nistelrooy has got every character, everything you need to become a top manager. And for me, I have no doubt about him. So if Ineos are contemplating bringing him back, for me, I see two good things about that. One, they want to bring back a certain love and focus on the team because anyone who watched Ruud Van Nistelrooy, if you did love Man United, you would love to see him on the bench, man. You would love to see him on that touchline at Old Trafford. Imagine him coming and whispering instructions to Erik Ten Hag. It would look nostalgic. It would look beautiful. It would feel nice if you loved him. So for me, it's a good thing for that. Bringing the fans together, bring back the passion, that attachment to the club. The legends of the club are important. He's one of those legends who is not talking bad about the club. I remember in a few weeks, recent weeks, he was asked about Erik Ten Hag, and he spoke highly about him, saying he rates him as high as he did Johan Cruyff and Louis van Gaal. That is the attitude of a legend we want to see, helping these young players come in, and that's why Ineos were saying they don't want to give a contract extension to the South African, that is Benny McCarthy, because I mean, if you can get Ruud Van Nistelrooy, really, he was first an under 17 strikers manager for the Dutch different teams in the junior teams in the Dutch national team setup. So he knows how to teach a striker, how he can get the best out of Rasmus Højlund to be banging in the goals. So for me, I look at him as a guy who will come in and bring a certain feel on the bench, really, but also, and the fact that he's also Dutch, he respects Erik Ten Hag. It's also a good opportunity for him to learn more from Erik Ten Hag. But also, he will be introduced now in a subtle way to managing at a top level because even if he's not mentored to become a future manager at Manchester United, if he works with Erik Ten Hag for some time, he can then leave and become a better manager of another senior, another team close to Man United. Of course, not as big as Man United because they don't come so many, but close to it. So for me, I think I look at it and I know he has got a decision to make. It is said that he has got 1 week. Next week, he will be making the decision whether he will take the Burnley job because he was ahead of Frank Lampard and all the other options they had for the Burnley job. But for me, if that opportunity is there, I think for me, Ruud Van Nistelrooy has got to take it. He amazed the Burnley team with his ideas of what he would do with the Burnley team to try and bring them back into the league, replacing Vincent Kompany. But I think for me, first getting a chance to be in the backroom staff with the new guys in charge of Man United, this senior team, you would rather start there and maybe after achieving success, he would say, now, you know what? Either I'm becoming the next manager of Man United, or let me first go now elsewhere and be a manager in a Premier League team. Because if he left as an assistant at Man United, he would certainly be a manager in another Premier League club, the Tottenham, West Ham. These are clubs that are not so far off Manchester United, but not a championship team. I feel like he would be above that. So for me, I don't have any doubt that he will make the right decision. The right decision would be him being part of the backroom staff of Erik Ten Hag. He's a fellow Dutchman. He reveres him so much. I feel like that's a good pick by INEOS. So these are the things that INEOS is working on, and that's why they're trying to constitute a solid backroom staff for Erik Ten Hag. By the way, this for me is a sign of how much trust INEOS has got in Erik Ten Hag, because bringing a fellow Dutchman is trying to help him. Even the players they're talking about trying to reunite him with players he worked with before, it's a sign that they have really trusted him. They're trying to show him trust and trying to give him a comfortable space for him to function in to the best of his abilities, which I think was lacking in this whole Manchester United setup. Very important stuff that they are trying to do. And also, Van Nistelrooy's presence to the players, to the squad. I mean, it's different knowing that the assistant, the guy telling you what to do, is Ruud Van Nistelrooy at Manchester United. You know what I mean? I mean, drop down in the comment section. Give me your 2 cents about it. Whether you're as excited as I am. Honestly, if I could, I would dance for you. Because I mean, stories like this that bring me the fire, that give me the fire in my belly, and I just want to get up on my feet and dance for you. But yeah, I'll do it if he confirms that indeed he wants to come and be a part of the backroom staff of Manchester United and Erik Ten Hag. But Ruud Van Nistelrooy, the goal poacher, is on the verge of returning to Old Trafford in a whole different capacity. What a time! What a time! What such a good time to be alive! Wow, beautiful stuff to see. But of course, there is the more important thing, of course, that you would want to know about are transfers and players. Joshua Zirkzee is still advanced, and we are still hoping that we'll seal the deal for Zirkzee. Then a centre back, I spoke about in my earlier video the need for a left back. INEOS seem to be taking their time on it, but with the injuries to Luke Shaw, trust you me, they will be forced to make a decision and a move more sooner than later, because we certainly desperately need to be signing a left back before we go into the preseason. But for now, the focus is on Ruud Van Nistelrooy. By the way, he's an important part, because think about it. How many of these young players who might have got a chance to watch Ruud Van Nistelrooy play will refuse to join Man United if they know Van Nistelrooy is part of the backroom staff? He's a star. He's still a star, an icon to all these young players. So it's also a good way to lure players. We had lost their lure for top players. And with Ruud Van Nistelrooy, with such a solid backroom staff, he's attractive. I mean, no disrespect to Benny McCarthy, but I mean, he could also stay, by the way. But McCarthy could also stay. Nothing against him. But the reality is, he's Van Nistelrooy. He's Ruud V, man. Subscribe, like, and share. I'll catch you later, fam. Peace, love, and harmony.